This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Thank you for joining us tonight. First this evening, the search continues for the person who crashed a truck into a bicyclist on the Stickney Point Bridge 2 weeks ago, critically injuring a man. Some pictures of that truck that was involved in the hit and run have now been released. ABC7's Rick Adams is joining us live from the bridge with more on this story tonight. Rick.
Yeah, Haley, the crash here was just so horrifying, and now the father of the victim is speaking out. This is the truck the Florida Highway Patrol says is responsible for crashing into 32-year-old Robbie Purser as he headed eastbound on his bicycle on the Stickney Point Bridge during the late afternoon on March 20th. Purser's dad, Bob, is still trying to make sense of all this.
Why would somebody drive up on the curb, on a 12-inch curb on Stickney Point Bridge for no apparent reason and run over somebody?
Purser did suffer a broken pelvis, a crushed knee, a broken ankle and wrist, neck injuries, and a brain injury. Bob Purser says his son remains in critical condition at Sarasota Memorial.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be fine, and all of a sudden it'll dawn on me that my son is laying in the hospital with severe brain injuries.
Robbie Purser, seen here in the front left, had just been helping out his mom at her flower shop on Siesta Key when he was bicycling back to his apartment in Sarasota. That's when troopers say this blue 2006 Dodge 1500 pickup truck slammed into him and sped off. Bob Purser is urging that whoever did this to their son to step forward.
If you think you've gotten away with this, you haven't gotten away with it, because myself, the Florida Highway Patrol, every police agency in the county is looking for your truck.
The Stickney Point Bridge is a very busy place for folks walking or bicycling over the bridge. Many people we talked with who are crossing the bridge say it does feel a little dangerous at times. For Sarasota resident Judy Zlock, she tells us she always walks her bike across the bridge just to play it safe.
You never know if someone's texting, there's not much space in between, or something could happen.
Purser tells us he remains optimistic that his son will bounce back from this and that the suspect responsible will be found soon. We
have a lot of questions. We're looking for the answers. The only person that can give us all the answers is the person that did this. So that's why we need closure, and we need him to come forward. And in the meantime, Robbie is doing his part. He's trying to heal.
And if you know anything about this, you're being asked to contact the Florida Highway Patrol or the Sarasota County Crime Stoppers immediately. Reporting live from Siesta Key, I'm Rick Adams. Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Rick. The Sarasota Police Department says it has responded to 10 overdoses in just the last week. 4 of those victims died. The police department says some drug dealers are selling a bad batch of heroin mixed with other powerful drugs. Sarasota Police Chief Bernadette DePino says don't trust what drug dealers are selling.
We've been partnering with the paramedics. Luckily, they've been able to use Narcan on a number of the individuals. Sometimes it takes several doses to bring the people back, but this is quite troubling to us.
A lot of these drugs are cut with fentanyl and other very dangerous substances. SPD says friends and family can potentially stop an overdose from becoming fatal by looking out for the symptoms. Watch for slow breathing, confusion, small pupils, and dizziness. If you can't get the person to respond, call 911 immediately. People in need of help can call First Step of Sarasota at the number on your screen, 941-366-5333. A Sarasota woman is facing jail time or a $500 fine for harvesting sea urchins from Sarasota Bay. A couple in their 70s was approached by Florida Fish and Wildlife officers after pulling bags of urchins out of the water near City Island Park. The couple says they were aware of the state's limit of 5 per person, but wanted enough for them and their 9 friends to eat. Officers counted 55 urchins, well past the limit. A local charter boat captain is relieved the couple was caught, but says hundreds more violate these laws daily.
Everybody taking, 5-gallon buckets of live sand dollars. It was like finally somebody spoke up and said, no, you can't do this.
The maximum penalty for these charges is 60 days in jail or a $500 fine, which will be decided by a judge during a court date scheduled for Thursday. And now for a check on our forecast, a very warm day on the Suncoast. Let's head over to Bob.
And I was thinking if you were chartering today for some views of the nice bay, it was a little rough going as winds were gusty out of the south, and that south wind has really warmed things up. That's the big story today, the record high temperatures up and down the Suncoast, and could see some record low warm temperatures too tonight into the mid to upper 70s right now, 78 in Bradenton, the same as Siesta Key now, 74 in Northport, a little bit cooler into Arcadia. They got up to 94 today. Currently we have 77 degrees, the dew point way up there at 68. Winds are still brisk out of the south at 14. The pressure rising ever so slightly, and the high temperature today, 88 degrees. It actually tied a record high set back in 1957. Tampa beat it by 1 degree, and Fort Myers beat it by 2. 94 degrees today, and here we are still in spring. We'll have more on our forecast. Let you know about a stronger cold front headed away in just a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. The Florida man accused of shooting and killing his pregnant ex-girlfriend and an Orlando police officer says he'll accept a court-appointed attorney, but only one specific one. Markeith Lloyd appeared in court today with a patch over his left eye. In a hearing last week, a judge appointed standby counsel, and Lloyd objected. Lloyd is accused of killing Sade Dixon and Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton. He will be in court again on April 12th. New details are coming out about a shooting in Sanford that left a mother and a son dead. A dispute at a gas station between a man and his girlfriend over car keys and house keys escalated to this deadly shooting last week. Alan Cash, a convicted felon, is in custody for the murder of Latina Herring and her 8-year-old son. Herring's father and younger son were also hit and remain in the hospital. They also released 911 calls in which officers can be heard at one point telling a friend of Herring to stop calling 911 and making false accusations.
It's very clear once the officers were able to determine where those 911 phone calls came from, the officers reached out to the third-party person, asking that third-party person to come in and be part of the investigation, at least by giving us that additional information and possibly assisting her with signing a complaint if that is the allegation that she made to them.
Cash was not arrested in the incidents before the shootings because the disputes were civil with no evidence of a crime at that point. Cash now faces multiple charges, including first-degree homicide and attempted premeditated homicide. Florida could push ahead with an overhaul of state tests under a bill moving through the state Senate. State senators crafted the proposal regarding how much testing should be allowed in public schools. The measure would eliminate 4 end-of-the-year exams that are now required. The legislation would allow school districts to use pencil and paper tests instead of requiring students to take the tests online. The bill also pushes back the date of when the state test is given to the last 3 weeks of the school year. Senate President Joe Negron's priority to create a reservoir to protect rivers near Lake Okeechobee appears to have a murky future. The Senate Appropriations Committee will discuss the $2.4 billion proposal on Wednesday. It would advance work on a part of planned Everglades restoration projects. The fight over the reservoir comes as Senate budget proposals included more than $22 million for state land buying programs and $275 million for ongoing Everglades restoration projects. Under the proposal, water would move south from the lake instead of going east and west into other bodies of water, preventing toxic algae outbreaks that have inundated Negron's Treasure Coast district. April is historically one of the driest months of the year, which is why, around here anyways, which is why it's Water Conservation Month. The Southwest Florida Water Management District is sharing tips on how to lower your water bill and save hundreds of gallons of water. You should only run your washing machine and dishwasher when they are full, install high-efficiency shower heads, faucets, and toilets, and thaw frozen food in the refrigerator or the microwave instead of running water. And remember, leaks are the biggest water waster both inside and outside of your home, so do a check for those. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast. Plus, an explosion on a subway train in Russia, 11 killed and dozens more injured. And how the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is celebrating the lives of those who have survived acts of crime.
Now's the perfect time to create a custom system with California Closets. During our Door and Drawer event, save up to $500 on beautiful doors and drawers for any room. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Why healthcare workers may be at a greater risk of thyroid cancer. Details in HealthSmart.
tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
The Sarasota Film Festival is March 31st through April 9th, featuring independent films from around the world, panels, parties, and conversations with stars, all happening in downtown Sarasota.
You don't want to miss it, so get your festival guide and choose the films and events you want to attend.
Buy your tickets online, by phone, or at the Hollywood 20 box office. They go fast, so get them now.
So join us to see and be seen.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
Nice and hot on this spring day.
94 degrees. I mean, that's a little bit excessive. You know, let's not go that quick, that warm that quickly. But not to worry, it is going to cool down a little bit. We're going to get a chance to, I mean, I don't know, 52, 53 degrees for a low, and that's not too bad on Friday and Saturday. Well, let's look at what's going on right now. Some beautiful sunsets over the weekend. We get a lot of those sent in. This one from Holmes Beach. Mike, appreciate that. Nice shot. Not many clouds around tonight, though. And we got this one from Braden River. KJL and Dana getting this both together, I guess, shooting that. Casey Key webcam showing a gorgeous day out there, although a bit windy and tough sea conditions. You can see some of those bigger waves washing ashore there. And the sunset, though, was spectacular along the area beaches tonight. And temperature is the big story. Still very warm at this hour, upper 70s. Right now, it's 77 degrees in Sarasota. The Gulf water temperature at 78 degrees. It's really warmed up. 72 now in Arcadia. And Sebring at 76 degrees. Inglewood, you're at 77. Northport, a few degrees cooler. What we have right now is a weak frontal system, and this frontal system really is not going to move much than where it is right now. It'll drift a little bit off to the south. It'll stop short of our area. It's not going to move through. The rain will stay to our north, and speaking of rain, they've had a lot of it over the Panhandle and now over North Florida. Tough driving conditions along I-75 north of Gainesville, all the way up through Georgia. Here's a look at the radar picture review showing that heavy rainfall now has shifted away from Tallahassee. It had been right over Tallahassee with severe storms there, but now lots of lightning, heavy rainfall, excessive amounts of 2 inches or more in an hour. Currently here, a different story. We have 77 degrees, clear skies, relative humidity pretty high, 74%. We have a south wind at 14, and the pressure 29.95 inches, and that is on the rise very slowly. Now, the high today tied the record set back in 1957, and this morning's low was well above average at 68 degrees. Typical, our low at 60 degrees, 45 the record set back in 1942. And our deficit for the year now is over 6 inches, and we are not going to see much rainfall with this front, as I mentioned, but the next one we could get some moderate rain showers and even a few thunderstorms possible late Wednesday and into early Thursday. Highs tomorrow will start off warm and will finish warm too. Highs are expected to be near record highs again, with temperatures topping out into the mid 80s near the beaches, into the low 90s in places like Wauchula, Arcadia, as well as into even close to Lakewood Ranch. Now, those winds will stay out of the south tomorrow, anywhere from 10 to 15. Not as windy as it was today, but it will still be a bit breezy out there. And with that south wind, it will have a tendency to warm up and the humidity will stay high. The RPM forecast model showing that line of storms just kind of hanging right there over north central Florida as that front fades away. And then what we'll see is we'll start to see another front develop, a warm front at that. So it'll be warm through Wednesday. And then a cold front will develop along that area of low pressure over the southeast. This cold front will be much stronger and will get to push all the way through and will cool down. As I mentioned on Friday, we're expecting temperatures to be well below average on Friday and Saturday, but for the time being, the heaviest rainfall right there at the junction of Interstate 10 and I-75, and places to the north are getting rain mainly across the upper Great Lakes. Here's the forecast then for boaters tomorrow. Still breezy, and the sea's still up, 2 to 4 foot seas out there, and south winds at 15 knots. Small craft to exercise caution. I think advisories will be issued on Thursday for us for boating, and that will stay with us through Friday. Well, the low tide upcoming 3:01, a high tide at 7:02. Tonight, mostly fair, warm and breezy. 70 for a low. Tomorrow, a slight chance for an inland storm, a high into the mid 80s near the beaches, upper 80s to low 90s inland. The extended forecast calls for a chance for showers late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and then windy and turning cooler with highs in the low 70s on Friday and Saturday. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. A bomb exploded on a subway train in St. Petersburg, Russia today, killing 11 people and wounding more than 40. Police defused another bomb at another subway station just a short time afterward. No one has claimed responsibility for this deadly blast. ABC's Molly Hunter reports from London.
President Vladimir Putin arriving at the memorial for the subway bombings, laying flowers for the victims of what is now being called a terrorist act. As emotional St. Petersburg residents are grieving for the dead and wounded in the first such attack on the city's metro system.
We've seen similar terrorist attacks in the metro in Moscow, but never in St. Petersburg.
Cell phone video showing the carnage on the subway platform shortly after the bomb exploded inside a subway carriage as it traveled between two stations. Natalia Kilarova was on the train. It is good the train did not stop, she said. It was going on full speed, and we were lying there, and I thought, oh God, just let us reach the station. Once the train stopped, chaos as passengers climbed through shattered windows, a mangled subway door, passengers crying for help. On the platform, I saw many people lying, another woman said. There was blood. Less than an hour later, officials discovered and disarmed a second bomb in this black bag loaded with shrapnel planted at another St. Petersburg subway station. President Trump reacted to the terror attack back in Washington.
Terrible, terrible thing happening all over the world. Absolutely a terrible thing.
And the entire St. Petersburg subway system evacuated and shut down for about 6 hours. That city ground to a halt, and no claim of responsibility yet. Molly Hunter, ABC News, London.
Officials with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office are celebrating the lives of survivors of different crimes. The Victim Assistance Unit and members of the Sarasota County Victim Advisory Council hosting the musical tribute as part of National Crime Victims' Rights Week. The event pays a tribute to crime victims and survivors, victim service providers, and volunteers. Denise Salerno Jackson, who became a victim when her daughter was killed by a drunk driver, hopes the event inspires more change.
I wanted people to know that even though the pain is still there and it's no different, but I want people to know that you can have a voice for that person that you love that's been victimized.
The event was held at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Sarasota County. After more than a year of construction, Ringling College of Art and Design's new professional soundstage is open. The ribbon cutting taking place this afternoon. The roughly $15 million project was a joint collaboration with donations from Sarasota County, the city of Sarasota giving the land and helping with permitting. The soundstage has state-of-the-art acoustics and lighting and could bring more filmmakers to the Suncoast. We certainly hope that it does. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Here's a look at tonight's show. Don't overthink it.
But Tom is a special
Yeah,
man.
look at you. You're positively glowing.
I'm like, oh, why is he here?
It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years, and that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Why healthcare workers may be at a greater risk of thyroid cancer. Details in Health Smart.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
For years, I told everyone my Craftmatic adjustable bed was the greatest until I got the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has an adjustable pillow feature that's awesome. You're gonna want one too when you see how little they cost.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less. Featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest, bedside power plugs, underbed night lights, and more. Available in all mattress types with optional heat and soothing massage for as much as half the price of Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. Adjust the rising pillow feature to help align your head, neck, and shoulders. See for yourself with our 30-day in-home trial. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-237-0214. That's 1-800-237-0214. Call 1-800-237-0214. Call now.
It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years, and that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
Now, sports.
Playing for a national championship is nothing new for the North Carolina Tar Heels. The university is looking for its 6th national title tonight. While the Heels make a return trip to the title game, Gonzaga is playing for its first ever championship. The two meeting tonight in Glendale, Arizona. Right now in the second half, UNC is up by 2 points. The score is 59-57 with about 5 minutes left in the game. A person with direct knowledge of the deal says Patrick Ewing has been hired as Georgetown's men's basketball coach. The hiring comes more than 2 decades after he led the Hoyas to their only national championship. The school has not announced the hire yet. Ewing has been an assistant coach with the NBA's Charlotte Hornets and had hoped for years to land a head coaching job in the pros. Instead, he returns to college, rejoining the program he helped win an NCAA title in 1984. After a month and a half in Sarasota, the Orioles beginning their season at home this afternoon, taking on the Blue Jays. We'll pick it up at the bottom of the third. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Chris Davis hits a fly ball deep to right field. It bounces off the right field wall as Seth Smith comes in to score. Davis tries to make it to second, but he is thrown out there. Orioles lead 1-0. Next batter, runner on third with 2 outs. Mark Trumbo hits a line drive down the right field line. Adam Jones comes in to score easily. as Trumbo coasts into second. Orioles lead at this point 2-0. Orioles hold on to that lead until the end. Final score 3-2. The NHL is not going to the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea. Team owners have complained that stopping the NHL season for 3 weeks every 4 years just wasn't worth it. NHL players had participated in the previous 5 Olympics dating to 1998. Many players expressed a strong desire to go, and Washington Capitals star Alex Ovechkin has said that he plans to go regardless of NHL participation. And speaking of NHL, the Tampa Bay Lightning scoring 4 goals in the third period last night to beat Dallas 6-3. It was another game the Bolts had to win to keep their playoff chances alive. There are only 4 games left in the regular season, and Tampa Bay may have to win all of them to keep playing in the postseason. And Lightning players are confident that they can do just that.
And now we're still in the race. We still have a chance, and we believe. These next 2 games are obviously really big, and it's going to be playoff games out there, and it's going to be fun, real fun.
And a little nerve-wracking, but okay. The Bolts will travel to Boston to take on the Bruins tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We are cheering them on. That's a look at sports. We'll have our lot of numbers right after this.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, April 15th. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
ABC7 News at 7 weeknights.
The official salon of ABC7.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Tickets are going fast for My Hometown Fest, being held from noon till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 15th at Nathan Benderson Park. Enjoy foods from 40 area restaurants, 60-plus craft beers, live music, and lots of fun. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
Jimmy Fallon is the star of his very own ride at Universal Studios in Orlando. The ride Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon, is slated to officially open this week. The ride is housed in a building that looks just like 30 Rockefeller Plaza in New York, where Fallon tapes his show. A replica of the Tonight Show Theater was also built. It holds up to 72 audience members. Once seated, guests are taken on a virtual race against Fallon through the streets of New York and beyond.
Down to the last detail. Like, these guys, they don't just make a theme park attraction. They go for it, and they think of every single thing they could possibly think about. I know my staff really flipped out because the floors are exactly the floors of 30 Rock.
Very cool. To celebrate the opening of the Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, he is hosting the Tonight Show from Universal Orlando Resort all this week. So he's just up the road. Pretty cool.
Amazing replica, I guess, huh?
Yeah,
you imagine the lines waiting for that ride?
I cannot imagine.
In this kind of heat, too. I mean,
no,
let's face it.
I gotta wait. I'm gonna wait till like the fall or something.
Yeah, right.
To do
When
that.
it's a little bit cooler. Another hot day tomorrow. High temperatures, low 90s. Some areas.
Okay. Drink your water. I'll see you tomorrow.